Greetings, folks! Welcome back to the Seth Show, and today you can see my office. Usually, I have the camera right here to record me, so the background is this area. But today, you can see my office because mom said it looked cool, so here we are. Today, for my thoughts on number 4, we are going to be looking at 4 books that I've read since summer began. They are 4 children's classics, I believe. The first of them that I read was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, Alice's Adventures Through Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, and A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, all very popular, renowned classics, and I've decided to read them because I wanted to see the original story behind the movies, and they did not disappoint. They were generally, these 4 classics were very easy reads, especially The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, because the chapters are just so short, just like 4 or 5 page chapters. The same cannot be said for these other books, but they were all very interesting all the same. Now, the first one I read out of these was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. According to the descriptions here, this was the first out of like 12 books, I think, that Mr. Baum wrote for the series. And I've only read this very first one. I plan on reading everything if I find them, but this was originally supposed to be a standalone book, so I'll just review it as that. It was very nice, very charming. The characters were very charming. Dorothy, the cowardly lion, the scarecrow guy, Tin Man. Can't remember their exact names, but they were all very charming characters, very, very wonderful to read. And yeah, it's very good for children. Like 140 pages. For a book. I finished this in 5 days, I believe, or 4 or 6 days. Whatever, it was within a week. Out of 10, I'd rate this probably like an 8. Wait, 8? For a children's classic, yeah, around 9. I'd rate it a 9. Very easy read. Chapters are short, kept me interested all the way through. And I like how in this book, it's not like a single conflict where it's good against evil. It's like there's the single adventure, how Dorothy does this to avoid spoilers, and then they go through a couple side quests. Everything is pretty much a side quest leading up to the one big quest of her getting here. And I really like it. It shows them with their character development, like let's say the lion, he says he's a coward, he's not brave, he's scared of stuff, but he shows that he's brave and stuff. They do the opposite of what they say they are. Is that a spoiler? I don't know. But I really love this book. For me, out of these 4, this was the one I enjoyed reading the most. Second, Peter Pan. Now what I did not like about this was the first 2 chapters for me was very dragging. Like it was just describing how they lived everyday life, and it wasn't until chapter 3 when Peter came along and made their lives actually interesting, and everything throughout was wonderful. Actually, one of my favorite classical characters from classic books of all time right now is Peter Pan from this book, because he is so charismatic a character. He's cocky, he's arrogant, yet he's brave and daring. He's charming. He's a kid. He's like a spoiled kid sometimes, yet he sticks up for others. He fights for them, and I really enjoy them. The characters here were also very nice, especially Peter. He was fantastic. Also a very short read, less than 200 pages, or a little longer than Wizard of Oz. The chapters here are a little long, a little arduous to read, especially with the smaller print. The chapters here are like 10 to 15 pages long. and that was a little hard for me to read, but good thing I was able to pick up on this. So out of 10, I'd rate this, because of the first 2 chapters for me and because they're long and this is supposed to be a children's book, maybe a 7. Yeah, around a 7 to a 7.5, because the character of Peter was fantastic. 10 out of 10 for his character, but for the book it was like 7.5. Next, Alice's Adventures Through Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Those are 2 books that was combined into this one book, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first one, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, more than the second one. The second one just seemed random for me, like she goes here, this happens, it's unrelated to the main plot, then it goes here, then this happens. But I do like how it was based off like a chess game where you can actually move the pieces where she goes places. So never tried that, but I think it's cool. But yeah, the second one just felt random. The first one was weird. Both of them are weird, but the first one, since I had nothing, I didn't know what to expect except that it was gonna be weird. I didn't know it was gonna be that weird. Like the mind of Lewis Carroll. That's his like pseudonym. Fantastic, brilliant, very good as a children's book. If I was younger, I probably would have enjoyed this much more. It spoke to my weird, crazy, mad self. Now I'm still weird and crazy, but in a different way. Out of 10, I'd rate this as an 8, or personally around a 6. I didn't enjoy the weirdness of the second one. Yeah, the characters, they weren't super appealing to me. I'd rate it a 6 personally, but for a children's book, maybe a 7. Just below Peter Pan, but though I enjoyed Peter Pan a lot more. By the way, here's a little addition from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. As you can see right now, the animations, the illustrations, in this book are amazing. They're fantastic. They all look so cool, so awesome, and they really helped bring the world alive for me. That's all. Thank you. They look cool. Now, the fourth and final book we're going to look at, I hope these descriptions aren't too short, is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's very short, like 90 pages, just below 100. It's a very easy read. I should have been able to finish this in like 2 to 3 days, but it took me like a whole week. Because the thing is that there are only 5 chapters here, but each of them are like 20 pages. And the type is super small. So I was like, I can't read this. So that was a downer for me. It turned me off from reading, but when I finally got about to finishing it, it was very good. I love the character of Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge, how the ghosts visit him, his character change. The pacing was very smooth, it was very nice. A very interesting concept and story with a nice moral lesson for the kids out there. And the execution was brilliant. So as a children's book, I'd rate it as probably a 9. Yes, a 9. But taking the long chapters into consideration and the fact that children nowadays would probably take a month reading just one of those chapters, if they could even finish it in that time, maybe a 6 for children nowadays. But for children like back then, who had nothing else to do but read, a 9. Very brilliant book. Anyway, it's just a short video. I don't know how long we're at right now, but I intended this to be just a short video. Thank you very much for watching the Seth Show. It's summer. Have fun. Don't go out because it's dangerous. You might die. Stay safe, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Stay safe and God bless.